Okay, I see. Yeah, okay. Mhm. Everybody's picking up the snack. Yeah. We're, as you see, sadly, without Jen today. Jen is with us in spirit and also as a producer, but not on camera. But everybody else has wiggled their heads. So you know that the Between is live, which you wouldn't know otherwise. Anyway, hi, I'm Yanis, always he, him. I'm GMing this, popcorning it over to Elliot, who has returned to us.
Didn't you miss me? Hi, I'm still Elliot. I'm still playing Araxi Elizabeth Justice, although she's been really going through it and is about to come back like the community gif with the pizza and everything's on fire. So, uh, I'm gonna go ahead and popcorn it over to Leander, Lamia, who's the cause of like at least 50% of the fire that I'm about to walk into.
I would like to say I think 50% is generous and I'll take it. Um, I'm Lamia. My pronouns are they, them. I am playing Leander, who's just a real helpful doctor, and his pronouns are he, him, and absolutely nothing bad will happen at all. Ren?
Hi, I'm Ren or Renegade Dumpling. My pronouns are they, them. I am playing Noelani Astoria Clements, she, her pronouns, and the match that is about to set the gasoline doused all over this house on fire when Araxi comes back in.
Yeah. Mhm. So yeah, little recap. Last session we had a ghost. Um, a ghost that is only a ghost because of Leander, who might have murdered a previous hunter of Hargrave House for reasons that we haven't fully revealed yet, but maybe we will soon. Um, Another hunter is also turning undead, which that's an interesting coincidence. That would be Araxi, who was bitten by a master vampire in Croydon and has set out last session, well, mainly because Elliot wasn't there, but also has spent a night or two in the care of the local nuns. But eventually we'll have to look into maybe not turning into a vampire. So, oh yeah, also the coven is there. We'll also get to that. There's a coven of witches that Nolani used to belong to. Yeah, but we'll begin with Araxi. Um, you're on your way back to Hargrave House, stumbling a little bit through the oppressive fog of London. Even through this thick fog, the sun seems very bright today, to you at least. But it gives you no warmth. As you walk towards Hargrave House, well, what do your thoughts turn towards?
I have spent the last several days in contemplation, in panic, in every single emotion that a human being can possess has gone through me at some point. And as I am heading back to Hargrave House, where I know won't be peaceful, but at least it'll be somewhere secure, somewhere I can put my guard down a little bit, at least, as much as I can anywhere I find myself. I think about the one time I ever tried to leave the Justice family. And I must have been about 14 or 15, thereabouts, just on the offset of puberty, which is already awful enough. And on top of that, I'm, being raised to be a monster hunter. And in a moment of teenage rebellion, I packed up some belongings in a bag. I stole some money out of my parents' office, and I just took a train north. I didn't really have any goal. Scotland seemed pretty far away. I was just like, I'm just getting out of the city. And I remember being on that train, seeing, you know, fields pass by, rivers, forests, hills, and having this sense of excitement but also anxiety. Don't know what's going to happen next. I'm doing something new. I'm not going back. And when I stepped out of the train car and looked around, standing there at the train station already was my father. And the angry tirade I received is unlike anything I have ever heard since then. About what a disappointment and a shame and stain on the family for daring to run away. And then he pulled me into his arms and said that if anything happened, he wouldn't know what to do with himself. And I'm just walking back. I'm like remembering that moment and just wondering what would have happened if I had not been caught.
You certainly, or probably, let's say, wouldn't have led a life that would end with you becoming a vampire.
I have no
So,
intent of letting this end me, but it's gonna be hard to get it undone, that's for sure.
what if it happens? If you turn into a vampire, what would you hope to happen then?
There's been occasions in the Justice family where someone has been turned into a vampire, turned into another creature, become enthralled. It happens. And it is always the duty, if you can't end it yourself, then someone else has to do it for you. And so Araxi has full eyes, as the family motto says, eyes open about the situation. If she turns, she is going to attempt to end herself.
And with that, you can mark an X on your hunt. In Hargrave House, Ash is, well, probably busy setting up a fake lab. Ren, not Ren, Nolani, and also Leander, you are still asleep. Nolani, perhaps characteristically so, Leander, less. Leander, what do you usually dream of?
Dream, I think, is more of the old days. Beautiful night strolls in the streets of London, hand in hand with the woman that I love, or a future where we are together again, happy like we used to be.
How long ago was that?
It's it's been years now, unfortunately. But it's never too late. Love is strong and can overcome much. There's just these things, they take time and patience, and gods know that patience is something I can do if I must, especially if it means setting things right and getting back to my life.
Right. Well, in this case, you walk through London as you used to. But at some point in the stream, you see in the distance Gallows. You draw closer and closer, and at some point you realize she is leading you to them.
Huh.
Very quickly, you find yourself with a noose around your neck. And you're hoping for her to intervene. She does nothing.
Darling. Darling, do something. What are you doing? This is wrong. No. She wouldn't do nothing.
Is it wrong?
It's wrong. And I've done I wouldn't meet the noose. That's absolutely absurd. No, it's wrong. No. I'm gonna try and take it off.
You can roll the information move here
Okay.
with sensitivity or composure.
Okay. They're the same. Okay. 9.
Yeah. You try to take the noose off, but the noose tightens and tightens and tightens. But as you die and wake up in the process, you do notice something. You notice, and that is your first clue for a new threat. You notice that it feels not like you're suffocating because of the noose. You feel like you're literally sinking into something, some kind of morass. Something is filling your lungs. Like you're submerged in something. And then you wake up. However, with your mixed success, and I mean, I'll give you the chance to change this,
Mhm.
but you wake up with your own hands around your neck that you have clawed at in your sleep. And you will take the condition strangled as you nearly suffocated yourself before you woke up.
Okay. That is a physical one, so it doesn't count for
That
the
is a
thing,
physical.
right?
That is your first
Okay,
physical
and that's
punishment. Yeah.
okay. I'm not gonna change it. I'm not gonna change it as long as it's not like
No, no.
you wake up in
it's-
into a murderous rage. We're
Yeah,
fine. Yeah,
you
I'll take
kill
it.
your next hunter of Hargrave House immediately.
Okay, yeah, I take it.
Hmm. And Noelani, what do you dream of this wonderful night?
Now I'm scared. um,
All right.
she's probably dreaming about the valley that her parents' house sits in back home, sitting on the porch, just kind of watching the tree line and the wind blow through the grass on one of the rocking chairs. Just kind of being there, not thinking about probably anything.
Well, that's a very nice sight. Who do we see approaching you here?
Probably her older sister coming up the road. um, carrying a little bucket on her hip, nondescript plant matter and uh, cutting implements. And she waves a little bit. She's like, "Huh." She's probably back from gathering plants for medicine or something.
All right. Your sister approaches you. How close are you with your sister? And is your sister also in London currently?
They aren't that close, and she would not be in London.
Your sister approaches you and presents you with something, a root perhaps, that she has gathered. Think you can use that for some of your work?
She'll turn it over in her hand a little bit, hold it up to the light. After I get it dried out, I can probably put it with the others and use it for something, probably. Looks like probably got a wide variety of uses.
Should hope that you find a use for it. After all, you'll be gone soon.
I'm not
And
leaving forever.
How long is it across the ocean? Let's say 2 weeks at this time. Probably not quite, but yeah.
It takes 6 hours to fly from Hawaii to the West Coast. So it's pretty long.
It's dangerous and honestly a bit expensive. You're not coming back. You know that.
If I don't come back, then it is by my own choice.
Right. And is it also by your own choice that you will replace us with the spirits that you talk to? Is that also your choice, sister?
It's not my fault that Mother's magic skipped the rest of you and only got passed down to me.
Is it that it was passed down? Or did they just find an eager vessel?
I see why Father has such a hard time finding you a husband now.
Yes, well. At least I'm looking for a husband. It will be hard to find you anyone, right?
I don't need your help to find a life partner.
No. You never need the help of anyone, not from this world at least. You always try to do it yourself. And then we find you driving a knife into some poor animal's carcass, trading away the pieces of you. And at this point, a very strange clawed-looking hand picks at the skin of her face and begins peeling it off one by one by one. And at this point, you can also roll for an information move.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Again, composure, which I'm not sure is good for you, or sensitivity.
Sensitivity is definitely better, but composure is not bad.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to use a mask because
I mean,
that's the 5.
you'll get a condition if you fail here, and you won't get a clue. If you put on a mask, you will find a clue, but you'll also still get a condition.
Do it. Just do
Yeah, I'm gonna put on a mask.
Okay, well, fine. Your decision, really. Which
Yeah.
mask?
Mask of the Past. Narrate a flashback to your young adulthood that shows when you first met the leader of the coven and name them.
Okay, well, we've kind of named them, but that's name the coven, right? Or name the leader.
Name
Yeah,
the leader
yeah.
themselves.
Right. Well, we'll do that in a second. And in fact, I will say that as this thing before you that is no longer your sister peels off the layers of its skin, it begins actually speaking with the voice of Hestia, the leader of the coven. And she will say, "And that is why I will find you." And then you wake up. And in your hand, there is a mask, which seems wooden, but as your fingers kind of go over it, it feels soft and warm to the touch, like skin.
Ew.
Hey, you put on a mask, you got your little clue.
And it's still in my hand when I wake up.
Oh yeah, it is physically in your hand as you wake up.
Does it look like anybody, or is it just like
Up to you.
plain? Oh God. Okay. Oh.
And then you hear the door. As Araxi arrives.
Kind of dramatically almost, hit the door against the wall, and I walk in, close it loudly behind me. I'm going immediately to the kitchen, and we have alcohol in there because the nuns don't drink.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Or if they do, it's like the really weak wine, because I think Protestants drink. I'm not religious enough to know this stuff. But no, I need something stronger, and I'm turning into a vampire. I'm not having a good time.
Yeah. So speaking of, we have 2 new threats today. The first is the Face of Nightmares that you have just seen. You need to figure out, does this thing only exist in your dreams, or is it a projection of something that exists in the waking world? Surprise 4th threat is Araxi.
Oh no!
You can try and figure out how to prevent Araxi from becoming a vampire.
No. Yeah, if we have
You
3
have
days to do this.
3 days to do this.
Okay.
Well, fuck. Uh,
Yeah, rip everything else. I know what Araxi's doing today.
Cool. Cool.
I will say this is the only time I will just allow you to stay in Hargrave House and figure out like something on your own, because at least Leander and Araxi would have previous knowledge of vampirism in
Why
some.
would Leander have
No,
knowledge
I
of
don't know.
that?
Yeah,
What?
Shut the fuck
speaking
up,
of.
Leander. Shut the
No.
fuck up. Because I do remember at the end um, of the session I was in, so 2 sessions ago, Leander, like, definitely seemed to know what was up looking at Araxi,
Oh, yeah.
right? Like, I think you said so. I didn't have time to rewatch it. Sorry. We should talk about this
Mhm.
beforehand. So I think that if no one is coming downstairs, I am going to Leander.
You know, you as a reminder, you heard Leander say a couple of questionable things from across the room. One
Oh,
of which
yes.
you heard specifically Araxi heard Leander tell one of the vampires they didn't even deserve to be what they are before killing them. And then as I was Leander took point in like taking care of you after you'd been bitten in a way that was like a little strange.
sus.
Do you remember that? Thank you. Yeah. So after getting a bottle of whiskey that's probably already half drunk, I am going to go to Leander's room.
Very uncharacteristically.
Knocking really loudly, repeatedly, just.
Oh, what the? All right. Very uncharacteristically, Leander opens the door and is not yet dressed.
Oh, I
Uh.
thought you'd be awake by now.
Night, strange nightmares. You're back.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
You look at Araxi, and I think Araxi usually has like a skin complexion of, like darker East Asian, right? I'm out in the sun a lot, but looks like very like ashy right now. Very unhealthy. And Araxi always has very bright, vibrant eyes. They definitely are more red than usual. And she just looks at you like, how do you think?
Do you need blood?
I don't want you know something about vampires. I know
Well,
something about vampires.
I mean, we did just go on a hunt and we killed
Leander,
some
I'm not
heavy,
fucking
yes?
stupid. You knew before the hunts. I'm like leaning against your like doorway. I have a handful of days to reverse this. You're going to help me.
Do you want to reverse it?
Kind of question. Of course, I want to reverse this. You think I want to become some kind of soulless beast?
No one said anything about you becoming a soulless beast.
Look, I don't exactly have a lot of options. If I could, I'd go back to the fucking family estate, but I'll probably be fucking dead by the time I get there.
All right, what come in if you'd like. I can do an assessment, or if you'd like we can go upstairs to Noelani. I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for from me.
God, you're a useless doctor sometimes, aren't you? Aren't you supposed to be good at healing people?
That's yes, I heal people. and it looks where you were bitten, as though that's not what you're after. The nuns look as though they've taken rather adequate care of you.
Look, I don't know why you're so acting so odd about all this. I am asking for your help because I think that you are an intelligent individual.
Wow, you really are sick. All right. What do you want to know, Araxi?
There's a lot of theories about how people get turned into vampires, right? We all know that it has to do with the
Yes.
bite. There's a lot of
Yeah.
theories that it has to do with saliva. If it is some kind of an infection, then it can be cured, but no one's successfully done it once it's actually set in.
Well, I think that personally, we tend to view infections as bad things that are detrimental to people, not things that cause them to live forever. So I'm we can attempt. Come in. I will get my equipment.
And for the sake of not doing a 4-hour doctor's appointment.
Yeah. I am going to use my brand spanking new doctor's bag
Yeah.
in order to help me in rolling a information move. I would like to draw some blood, do a few tests, check the heartbeat, vitals, etc., see what physiological changes have already been going on in order to try and ascertain whether or not
Yeah.
the nature of vampirism is akin to an infection.
Right. Yeah. There are a few things you definitely find out, but that's not the clue, of course. Araxi's heartbeat has slowed.
Mhm.
Slowed to a point where if you didn't know better, you would assume she's sleepwalking.
Mhm.
Araxi is also colder than she probably should be, like a solid 3 or 4 degrees.
Mhm.
There are definitely physiological changes. She's more or less halfway to being a corpse.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
yeah, what about the blood?
Um, should I roll or are you just asking outright?
Oh, I'm letting you roll now.
Okay. Nice.
With
That
advantage? Yeah,
is
okay.
yeah, with advantage, and that's reason, yeah?
I would say so, yeah.
11.
Well, you end up with a tube full of Araxi's blood. And it seems perhaps a bit thinner than it should be, and it also seems strangely almost animated, like it is consuming itself.
Mm.
And that blood sample is your clue.
Mhm. What happens if I take some of the blood and then drop a bit of my own blood on it?
What do you think happens?
I think let's see. I think it also starts to I think it consumes that blood first and then goes back to trying to eat itself.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Noelani, you've heard this whole exchange downstairs, and then those two disappeared, and Araxi got examined. You, of course, understand what this is about, but what are you doing?
She's putting the flesh mask somewhere less spooky first. Because the longer she looks at it, the more it looks like her sister, and that's freaking her the fuck out. And she's also making sure that the box from Aliska is where she hid it. And then is gonna go downstairs to see what's happening. Because they've been down there for a long time.
I'm imagining Leander is not showing Araxi the blood experiment, and Araxi sitting in a chair going what's happening over there? What's going on?
Your blood, it's trying to eat itself.
Of course it is.
So I would hypothesize this is a form of assimilation, essentially. The vampiric part of your blood is working its way of taking over.
You look a little less happy about that when you say it.
I think
This is regardless of what Leander actually looks like, by the way.
yeah, I think Leander's back is very much still to you as he is working on things. And if the camera moves to see him, he looks very, very in his head thinking about something. It looks like he's trying to figure out a puzzle. And so as he turns around to you, composing himself a bit, he looks like he's really now trying to figure out this mystery. I do believe that, I don't know, further than infection, perhaps parasite, that is not symbiotic in nature. It's trying to take over. And the introduction of whatever it is, whether it was saliva or blood itself in the fight that entered your body while you were trying to dispatch the gentleman, well, it is changing you, obviously, and your blood, it responds very interestingly to other blood as well. If I introduce mine, for example, it stops trying to eat itself, attacks mine, and then goes back to trying to eat yours.
Do we have any uncooked meat in the house?
We do, yes.
At that point, Noelani, what's
So they didn't
What's going
fix
on?
you, the nuns. She just
No.
walks in the door, does not knock, nothing.
They tried, they failed. I insisted that I be released, and Leander is helping me fix this. Let's walk and talk. And I'll get up, I'm gonna go to the kitchen, and I'm going to look for raw meat and just
Yeah,
see if I can eat it and how that makes me feel.
raw meat. Well, that is a very good question, honestly.
There probably is, but it's probably my ritual stash.
Oh no.
No, there'd be meat because Leander cooks. The rest of your
Okay.
heathens may not, but Leander does cook. There is meat in the house.
I'm more. The good question for me was more like, can Araxi just eat raw meat right now? And I would say I'm just going to hand you a clue for doing this, just to move on from this. But you get a condition in exchange, and that
Sure.
condition is absolutely disgusted. But
I thought you were gonna say like boodalism or like the one that if you eat, like bad
Tummy ache.
chicken. Yeah, like I just
Salmonella.
don't
Salmonella.
want you to be feverish and shitting all over Hargrave House. And that's not a way to spend an episode. Come on.
I'm sorry, I come back for like 1 hour. I've already missed. I need everyone to know my conditions currently are offended, onset vampirism, and absolutely disgusted.
Yeah, but yeah, you force yourself to eat raw meat. Well, what do you think happens? Narrate your own clue here.
Um, it tastes awful. The texture is awful, and the look on Araxi's face is definitely like this is probably bottom 10 experiences that she's ever had, and she's had some bad experiences in her life. And this is still like bottom 10. But as I am eating, and I force it down, and I am apologize for what I was describing. I am picturing like a chilled but still like bloodied like cut of like beef or something like that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And I am eating it with my bare hands. I did not get a plate for this.
Leander is
Um,
taking notes.
I'm sure you are. And as I'm eating it, I kind of, start licking my hands clean of like some of the blood and stuff. I do feel better. And that is part of why I'm so disgusted.
Right. That's your clue. Whatever you
Well.
want to make of this in the end, that's your clue.
You can still consume meat. How did you sleep, Noelani, by the way? Good morning.
Terribly.
Same, actually. Nightmare.
She looks like she was about to say something, but as soon as you say nightmare, she goes, "What was your nightmare about?"
I died. Yours?
My sister.
What happened
kill
while I
you.
was gone?
Oh,
We skip. This question is asked, by the way, as Ash is just walking downstairs, arm in arm with the seamstress, and they are making plans for the fake club that is getting.
Just,
Yeah.
that happened while you were
Mm.
gone. We have an in-house seamstress now, it would seem.
And a ghost. No more spiders, though. Except for, the obvious.
No more hostile spiders.
And that is why we skip ahead now, as Araxi
Yeah.
is getting filled in. We skip ahead to you getting ready for the actual day. Any masks that still need to be narrated? I think there is one from Nola. Yeah. Let's start with Nolani.
Oop, wrong PDF. Narrated flashback to your young adulthood, the first time you met the leader of the coven. Just kind of like idly staring off into space, still thinking about her dream. Well, I'm sure she's only using her witch name now, but her name used to be Isabel. The first client that I could not lie to some sort of distant relative of my aunt. She came to stay with us every summer. And I remember seeing her the first time. Crazy looking eyes, an absolute poof of hair tied back with a purple ribbon, and dressed in all black regardless of the summer heat. She looked like she was attending a funeral, and she asked me to do a divination for her that same night that she arrived. She said that her husband hadn't been feeling well as of late, and was concerned, perhaps, about the influence of a dark spirit. And I wish so badly that I could convey to you the unnerving smile that she gave me when cards started leaping out of the deck while shuffling. They had affirmed her suspicion about the presence of a dark spirit, but it wasn't simply that. And before I could tell her, she leaned over and she whispered, "I'm glad to hear it's doing its job." Can y'all hear me?
We can hear
Yeah,
you.
you
We
just don't have
don't have
captions.
captions. Yeah, just
That's
refresh if you're
weird.
on the captions tab. Yeah. Okay, the rest of us
Hello?
have captions, so yeah, it probably is just
Yeah.
your captions need to be refreshed.
I
That
had
happens.
captions. Now it's
Yeah, yeah.
not.
It's
Oh, there we go.
refresh. Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Cool, 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 cool.
All right. Um, were you done with the flashback?
Yep,
Okay,
yep.
good. Good, good. Yeah. And leaving Hargrave House, Araxi.
It hurts briefly to be in the sun, and I have that moment of, is it just the normal adjusting from a dark interior to a bright exterior, or is it something else? And there's this very brief moment as I'm kind of, blinking, squinting out. There's, a crowd. People walk by Hargrave House down the street and everything. We're not that isolated. Where I think for a moment I see a familiar figure and I pause and I have this moment of recollection of being in a different city and walking down the night street with my aunt, and she was always just the honestly just the coolest member of the Justice family. She welcomed me in with open arms when I was first adopted into the family, and she always seemed to understand that not just genetically but something else, I was different from the others. I just didn't always vibe with the other members of my family, but she did. And she one of the coolest things about her is that she's she's where I get my sense of fashion from. She always wore, jackets and trousers, kept her hair short, and never took a husband, very notably. And always reassured me that even though I was a member of the Justice family now, I didn't have to feel obliged to carry on the family legacy. And she'd always kind of like, grin at me and say, whatever that might mean, dear. And so I liked going on patrol with her. I liked being able to spend time with her when we were in the same city. And one day, one night, as we were on just a standard patrol, we saw what looked like a man. A pale, thin man in plain clothes, mop of red hair, beard, standing there, grinning at us. And my aunt pushed me behind her and said, "Get to cover." And immediately she charged at this man, and I started to run, but I looked back because that's what you do. You look back, you see what's happening, and instead of a man, there was just this fanged, horned creature with long claws, a spaded tail, and just huge thing. And I wouldn't really understand until later when I was describing what happened, describing how my aunt was torn to pieces, literally ripped limb from limb, letting me escape. That this was a demon. Very rarely brought onto our world, but always deadly. And for a moment, as I'm walking outside of Hargrave House, I could have sworn that I saw that same pale, thin, red-headed man, but when I look again, he's not there.
You've seen a lot over the past few weeks alone, or week really even. You've made a pact with a spirit. You now have a fae living in Hargrave House. Is there a part of you that thinks perhaps even with a demon, an understanding of sorts would be possible?
Anything is possible, but this is personal. And Araxi, I've made this vow to myself that this is the last hunt, and after this, it's over, one way or another.
Well, that's another X for your hunt track. By the way, Leandra, you see Araxi toy with something, or just fidgeting perhaps. It seems to be a memento from the hunt in Croydon. What is it?
I think there was a cross. There's a ornate cross that had been in the I forgot cardinals things. And I think Araxi now has it.
All right.
Does it burn?
Not yet.
Not yet. So, it's now the actual day phase. What do you want to do? You have obviously a few things to take care of. One of them is Araxi. The other is there is something turning people into plants, perhaps.
I wanted to talk to Nolani.
Okay. Oh, that, yeah. You also have the covenant. Yeah. All right. Well, let's say you are en route somewhere on some kind of case. What would Nolani and Leander do together?
Is it actually possible for us to be at the house? I wanted to have Nolani take a look at the flower.
I mean,
we, like,
you're
walk
not
and
going to
talk?
get another clue from the flower. I will tell you that.
Okay, fine. We'll walk and talk then. That's
That's
fine.
yeah.
I'll be taking Nolani to the neighborhood. That's what it'll be.
Right.
Does that work? Okay. Cool. Nolani. This pulls in almost looks like an iris out of the doctor's bag. This was growing out of a corpse that had not been buried and whose blood and other typical bodily fluids had turned into sap. I thought you might have ideas about what might be able to do this. Also, we're en route to the neighborhood and perhaps to the church where a priest had intervened. The man was committing a crime. I thought we might be able to talk to him. So that's where we're headed. Wanted to know if the flower spoke to you at all, and what exactly you plan on telling Araxi.
She's examining the flower while he's talking, and when he says, "What do you plan on telling her?" Actually, she stops. That depends. Did you tell her anything yet?
No, I've been quite focused on assisting with the current condition. She's obviously very distraught, and we didn't have a conversation about anything else.
She's going to start walking in. Well, when your entire life is dedicated to being a monster hunter, I can imagine becoming a monster that she would hunt is not high on her list of priorities.
Yes. Which is why I think it is perhaps best if we decrease the level of stress around her.
Either you tell her what you did to Aliska, or I tell her what I think you did to Aliska. Because either way, she's going to find out.
What is it you think I did?
Oh, I don't know, Doctor. Why don't you have a certain hammer?
It broke and I replaced it. Happens all the time.
Broke on her skull, perhaps.
Nolani, I think you and I both know that sometimes in this life, we have to do things that are unfortunate. And I think we can both agree that at the moment, Araxi is rather fragile. And perhaps now is not the time? Could we agree? Please.
I'm not sure I can.
Why? Miss Roderick seemed to have no issues working with me. If I was really that terrible, don't you think that wouldn't have been possible?
I don't know how long she's had to sit with this. Clearly, she's been in the house the entire time, and you seem rather bothered by her.
When you devote your life to hunting things, don't you think that you would be perturbed if something turned up in your home that you would normally hunt?
Lucky for me, I have not devoted my life to such things.
What would help you to be more in agreement with my idea for treatment for Araxi in regards to the decrease in stress, at least for the time being.
Why'd you do it?
If I had something to do with Miss Roderick's death, it would have been out of self-preservation. We were not aligned in previous lives, if that helps. Oh, this is the I'm told this is the parish where we can find the priest. Does that satisfy you?
She's gonna hand him back the flower. And right before she walks in, she'll go, "All right. So, if I am to understand you, should I come under the influence of something else like blood magic, you would kill me too." And she'll walk away.
Well, depends. And we walk in.
Why are you walking? Where are you at?
We're looking to talk to the priest that killed the guy.
Yeah, Callum Cross, the very helpful mortician that Leander sometimes gets bodies from, or used to get. That's a perfectly regular thing, honestly, for every doctor
is.
at the time. Yeah. Grave robbing was something you just had to do for research. You know, it's
Yep.
fine.
So yes, we are looking for this priest that
Yeah, would have probably directed you to the Oak Door, a pub on the street here. Inside, let me see something. Who of you has marked what? Inside, you see very sturdy wooden furniture. In the back of the pub, there's a large sculpted wooden door. You assume made out of oak, affixed to the wall, and it all just looks very rustic in here. So, Noelani, this is the first time that we get a special thing because one of you has marked a Mask of the Future. Noelani, what detail in the sculpted door catches your eye? And how do you react after it suddenly moves?
There's probably what looks like a regular knot in the wood. But the longer she looks at it and the closer it gets, the more she realizes that's an eye. And then it blinks.
Yeah.
And she jumps a little bit.
Right. You jump, and then a man, very clearly the proprietor of this place, dressed in a very simple shirt and pants and an apron, approaches. Hey there, miss. Anything wrong?
No, just admiring the woodworking. Where's this from?
Well, I saw it many years ago now, and he just kind of gets into storytelling mode. You can tell he likes to tell the story. Um, stops polishing a glass that he was holding, just sits it down. I saw it many years ago now. It was in the forest to the north of London. And I saw it opened in an old oak tree. How it got there, who knows? But through that door, I saw the most beautiful woman in the world. He gives you a horrendously obnoxious wink, not unlike you, if I may say so. Practiced. You know this is practiced, all of it. But when I tried to approach her, the door slammed shut. And a semblance of this woman was instead set in the tree's bark. So I cut the tree and I got the door out of it, hoping one day perhaps it will open again. But it never has. Now, what can I get you?
She's taking a moment to stew. We actually just kidding. Is Leander still here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
We're
I'm
actually-
standing behind you. I'm letting you talk to people. I don't like people.
We're actually looking for someone from the church that perhaps frequents here.
Ah, the
Father.
church. Yes, that would be. I know you mean. It has to be Brother Francis. It's apparently not the church, but the other church that sent him, the Holy See. He's from the continent, but either way, not many people here hold with one or the other. Well, he's over there.
And she will just get a
And,
beer to
yeah.
take to him. Like peace
In the back.
offering.
Sorry? Peace
Like a
offering?
peace offering.
In the back, in a very dusty kind of travel outfit, you do see what appears to be Brother Francis. And does have an enormous wooden crucifix around his neck. So yeah, probably.
One of those.
You can, of course, also try to get some information from the pub owner here, because I mean, he's the pub owner. He knows things. But there is Brother Francis for your perusal in the back.
She's gonna weigh her options for just a second and go, no, and go towards the priest.
No, Lonnie, are you all right?
Perfectly fine.
Oh.
Don't like men.
Well, that's fair. I don't like priests. So, shall we?
Yeah, she's gonna walk over, put the beer on the table. Brother Francis, was it?
Ah. So it is, so it is. Another one come to hear how I killed a man the other day, the poor victim of, well, whatever it is that possessed him.
Actually, we were more interested in what what your understanding of what happened after is. You see, the body was very interesting, actually.
Yes, I have heard the stories. But much of what I can tell you is what happened. I was passing by. He tried to abduct a woman in broad daylight,
Mm,
and with a single blow, I killed him. I will
very strong.
make. In my misspent youth, perhaps I was in a fight here and there before I found the light of God, but it is not usual that a man is felled by a single blow.
What did you hit him with?
My fist.
You're right, that is odd.
You do see, by the way, that on his right hand he has a horrible scar. He looks like he hasn't just been in a fight here or there at some point, but he has fought.
Not your first fight based on those scars.
As I said, my misspent youth, he just gives you a smile and begins to kind of caress the scar a little.
God does
as-
need his fists, I suppose.
If it be God's plan. And in this case, I did save the soul of that poor woman from whatever was to befall her. So surely it was God's plan.
Did you get a name of her? Or where she might be found?
Oh, only later. It is her name is Mary Gorse. She works at a local brewery, apparently. I've not had the opportunity myself yet.
And you thought the man was possessed?
He was single-minded, that is for certain. He approached her in broad daylight and tried to take her with him, just like that. And he would not relent. He barely seemed to hear me. It was only when I struck him that he reacted at all to my presence.
And how did he react? Did you hear what he was saying?
He said nothing, truly.
I'm gonna try for an information move.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to ask him, in your opinion, as a man of the church, you are probably quite versed in at least some of the manners of getting rid of demons and such, poltergeists. What do you think had possessed him?
That sounds like presence.
Well, I got it.
That's why I brought you.
I got a 6 total.
That's not good. That's
That's so bad.
that's not going to give you a clue, unless you want to put on another mask. Which,
Do you have anything that you can use?
I've got 2 knives, some plants, and a cat. I
I mean, if someone showed
mean,
me their cat, I would be more likely to help them out. I do love cats,
you do have
so
to you do have to say that you're using an item before you roll.
Oh,
Now
okay.
it's kind of
I'll
just put on a mask or don't. I would say don't probably.
we're in the daytime, so I'm not gonna die if I
Yeah,
fail.
No,
don't
no.
do a mask. Don't do a mask.
Um,
It's fine.
what will instead happen is just that he will just find you suspicious. You say, what would that be to you? You look. Now, pardon my forwardness, but you look like you may have dabbled in the odd. Hmm. Perhaps not demonic ritual, but. Well,
Sir,
if I dare
we are.
say so, you look like somebody who, in a different age, might have ended up on a pyre.
Sir, we're investigators with Hargrave House by authority of the Crown. Perhaps you'd like to, instead of harassing my companion here, simply answer the question instead. What is it that led you to believe possession in this case?
Listen, I am not here on the authority of the crown. I am here on the authority of His Holy Father, the Pope. Now, I will give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and to God what belongs to God. Which is to say, I will leave you to your investigation. Perhaps you will leave me to mine. Good day.
Okay.
That's
I'm good at
he's unfortunately, yeah, you failed that roll completely.
Yeah,
So,
Mhm.
um,
Going back to the bartender.
yeah.
um God, I'm so bad at presents. Um so did you see the happenings that the brother was involved in? Were you there?
No, that's a few streets away. I was here serving my customers,
Mm.
but I mean, I hear things,
What
especially
is
about what happens at the Blackthorn Brewery. I'm getting a lot of product from them, so
mm,
of course I know Mary. I think
all
she
right.
labels the bottles there.
Ah. What have you heard? Because there was some odd rather oddness with the situation. Have you heard of
Oh,
other
right.
odd situations?
I mean, it's a pub. There's odd situations pretty much every hour around here.
Mm, people talking about flowers growing from bodies, people talking about bones breaking with far less force than would normally be required. Things like that.
His eyes wander over to the open door. Um, that's not a clue yet, but
Okay.
you need to
I'm
roll.
guessing I have to roll.
It is presence. Do you have an item that can help you here?
I am gonna use what can I use? I'd like to use my interrogation notes.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to use one use of those as perhaps I had there was something in those about oddness in this neighborhood already.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure. So we'll see what we get, and then maybe
So is this is it an advantage or just a +1 or how does
that's
I think
advantage. That's just
advantage.
2 dice, yeah.
Okay, so an extra die. Oh,
But yeah,
please roll
an extra die,
well.
yeah.
Oh.
Uh,
Mm,
uh, yeah.
Nope. Nope. That's a 4, a 1, and a 2, and I have a -1. It's hopeless.
Oh no, Ash,
It's a
come back! Ash, come back!
Yeah. We
it's
have
a 6
nobody who can
minus
talk.
it's a 6 minus 1 even with fucking god damn it. Okay, so it's a 5.
Do you want to do anything about that 5?
Oh, we can't come out of here with nothing. I'm putting on a mask. God damn it.
Which one?
Narrate a flashback to when you realized everyone you loved was gone.
Saying that so like
Okay,
distraught.
right. So I think you realize as you kind of weave your way through this conversation, especially since he said that not many people here hold with either the Anglican or the Catholic Church,
Mm-hmm.
you are stirring something up here.
Mm.
Um, people will be talking about you and that you may be an enemy to, well, the people. Perhaps. Who knows? That's something you're not sure about yet because that is also very much dependent on how you answer this mystery. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you realize you may not be welcome everywhere after this, but you
Okay.
will get a clue.
Okay.
So we're going through with it.
Yeah.
Mask, and you get your clue. Okay.
Yeah, I want my clue, god damn it.
Okay, good. All right. Well, you know, Michael Rowan, the man that the priest killed, wasn't the first one to go missing. There was, at one point, there was this traveling fop coming here saying he wanted to perhaps buy the brewery or something, and he went missing shortly thereafter. Everybody thought, well, he's not buying it then. But then all of a sudden we saw him again, and he was just in front of the house where he was staying, immobile. Seemed like he had put down roots, really, which, I mean, sounds funny, but like you said, stranger things have happened. Oh, well, at least strange things have happened here lately. And
Yeah.
he just stood there. So we got a few of the local lads to just escort him away. They did so, but somewhere, they say it was in the Elder Garden near here. Somewhere they just lost him. He just disappeared on them. and we haven't seen him since. Meanwhile, by the way, Araxi. Where is Araxi?
I wish I could go back. I wished I don't wish to go back to the Justice Estate, but it's way too far. I will be like a vampire by the time I get there. Instead, I presume that like as a monster hunter, like a legacy monster hunter, right?
Hmm.
There's like a headquarters or like some kind of like this is where
Well,
people like would go or like a
yeah, that's Hargrave House.
it is just Hargrave. Okay, well then does Hargrave House have a really they have a we have a library. Actually, wait, we've
Yeah.
established we have a library. I'm spending my day in the library, which is not my usual thing to do, but I am reading as much as I can about obviously like vampirism and like rumors, myths, legends. Just I'm trying to find anything possibly about someone previously who has been cured of vampirism.
Hmm.
Anything at all. And I can roll
Right.
for it.
Yeah,
obviously.
that's going to be a reason roll, but I think
Uh,
you can roll with advantage here.
Okay. Thank you. Ooh, okay. So I will actually this sort of works out. So I got a 7 and I'm gonna use a mask.
Okay.
Right, because a 7 or well, what would happen if it's a 7? I get a clue anyway, or no?
You do get a clue.
I
There's
failed to
also
find a book.
something
Like, yeah.
wrong with it. Yeah.
Okay. And then if I bump it up, then it's just a normal.
I will say, yeah. If you don't use a mask, you will find information about this other hunter that became a vampire, and you will know where to find their crypt. And if you do put on a mask, you will also know that, but you will also understand whether or not there is a vampire inside or not.
I'm gonna hold on to the mask then.
Right. In that case, yeah, somewhere rather nearby, there's an old cemetery, and there you will find the grave of Sir Roderick Price, resident of Hargrave House 100 years ago.
Leander didn't kill this one.
No, no,
Oh my
Leander
God.
did not kill that one. Sir Roderick Price was a monster hunter who was bitten by, well, as it happens, bitten by a vampire on the job. And it seems he stayed on as a hunter of Hargrave House for at least another year. Now, whether that means his condition wasn't discovered or he healed himself and then just got killed by something else, as it happens, that is to be discovered. So your clue is for now incomplete, but you can follow up on this after the break.
Hey.
All right. So see you all in 10 minutes. Hello, we return to London. Norlani, you have an appointment, all of you. Ash will just not go. Ash doesn't. Ash has more important things to do than meet the person who helped you move a body before, or had his his henchmen do it. Yeah, Nolani, you are on your you arrive at Hargrave House, let's say, to pick up Araxi. What state does Noelani find Araxi in?
I think Araxi, I've been attempting to get drunk, but something about the current condition I have, which is I'm turning into a vampire, is making it really hard for me to become like full properly intoxicated the way that I really want to be. And so you find me in the kitchen with a bunch of like empty bottles of various alcohols. They're like, it's wine, whiskey, bit of gin, just some good old, beer, and then these like probably really old books that should not be anywhere near any sort of alcoholic substance or like liquid in general. Like, just on the kitchen table. I've been like flipping through them. I have like a notebook. I'm taking notes. I just look up. I'm like, oh, you're back already.
Are you? I suppose okay is the wrong thing to ask.
Yeah.
Are you? Have you? Hmm. Come on. She's gonna help her up from the chair. We have a meeting to go to.
Right. Did you know that there was someone here, a hunter, who died?
Yes.
Oh, you knew about the one who turned into a vampire, probably.
Oh, no.
Who are you talking about?
Let's walk and talk. Um, she's gonna link arms with Araxi. She's not confident that Araxi is very steady right now. Um, so we have a ghost.
There was a mention of that. What is this? I haven't seen any ghost though. What is it exactly?
Um, she was a former hunter, a relatively recently deceased one on top of that. Um, you've probably seen her portrait. Iliska Rogi?
Oh, the one in like the third hallway on the second floor.
Yes. She's probably resting. Being corporeal is entirely taxing even for those of us who are not dead. Um,
Okay. So she's what haunting Hargrave House.
in a manner of speaking, yes.
Does this have anything to do with the fact that the seamstress has taken residence up in our home, or is that completely unrelated?
That is unfortunately completely unrelated. Araxi, how long have you been here?
Well, a couple of months now.
And Leander was already here when you got here.
Yeah, I think Leander was the first here. Well, as far as the four of us go. Does he know the ghost? Was he friends with this Aliska?
I would not use the term friends.
Enemies?
It seems very complicated. Uh, and she's going to explain what she thinks happened to Iliska by the way that Leander has reacted. He did murder a man in broad daylight, so I suppose I shouldn't be terribly surprised that there's a ghost in our house.
He said some incredibly strange things when we were fighting the vampires, and I wonder if there's some sort of connection, if he's secretly some sort of serial killer. That'd make a lot of sense, actually.
What did
Fuck.
he say?
Well, he said that they don't deserve to be vampires. Ah, fuck. I need to be like 5% more sober for this. It's very rare, but sometimes monsters can be very charismatic. Right? And sometimes they get little groups like cults or covens of witches and that sort of a thing to help serve them. And I wonder if Leander has some sort of connection to these. So he knows that you talked to the Eliska the ghost, right? He's aware of that.
Oh, everyone can hear Iliska when she's around. And she did make herself corporeal for a little bit. Uh, because apparently that's something ghosts can do. I do also have her finger bone and a number of her effects. Please
Okay.
don't ask why I have her finger bone. It came with the box.
I'm prioritizing questions right now. There's a lot going on. We still have to get to this meeting. It's still several blocks away. Um, do you think Leander's going to try to kill you then? To keep his secret?
I would not. I would not put it past him. Is how, however, I'm not sure. He said something about not being in alignment with her anymore, and which after
Yeah, she's
Croydon, I
dead
can
and he's not.
understand. Well, before they died, before she died, before he killed her, I don't know if she was perhaps also possessed or if she was defending herself. I don't know. He won't say. And that to me is a little scary because I
Yeah.
don't know. Well, I mean, I do kind of know what he's capable of a
You
little
saw him
bit.
kill a man in broad daylight, yeah. Lock your door at night. And much as I hate to admit it, I might need his help to fix what's happening to me, but after that, I'll talk to him about this. I'll get answers.
As you get up and also, yeah, apparently help. Give Nolani some practical advice here, like locking the door. Yeah, each one of you can clear a condition, and also you can clear vampirism, unfortunately, but you can clear the other two. Like one of them. Araxi, you have all these books in front of you. As you stand up to leave, perhaps a little shaky, you have been drinking a lot, even though you may not feel it. As you look at these books again, there's something that catches your eye, and that will be a clue. But what is it that you see?
Is it a clue for me, like my situation, or something else?
It can be anything. I mean, it would make sense if it was for
I would
your
like it to
thing.
be for me, if it's all the same.
It can be for anything.
As I am reading, I have all these books in front of me and everything. I see on one of the pages in a book that there's mention of I'm completely blanking, honestly. No, there's mention of a vampire who could walk in the sunlight.
All right.
It's different than the others. He can walk in the sunlight.
Yeah. Sure. That's your clue. Well, you meet Leander outside, and you also meet another person. It is Satya. Satya just grins at Nolani. You're leaving somebody waiting, aren't you?
We do have a meeting to get to, darling, but
I know, I
I can
know.
always spare time for you.
Oh, no. I'm here to escort you to him.
Oh.
Oh.
Sorry, do you know this woman? Because Araxi has never seen Satya and Nolani, I think, in the like same room.
This is Satya. We met during the Drowned Guardian investigation.
Oh, I see. I look at Satya and I'm like, well, lead the way.
With pleasure. And on the word pleasure, Satya grabs Nolani's hand and does in fact lead the way, leading you through London. And you end up in one of the rookeries, the slums, so in a sense, of the time. You're led to a building that on the outside at first looks like a regular residential building, but once you're led inside, you see that it has been converted into some sort of headquarters. There are stacks of papers and old, very old looking books. There are maps all over the place. There's very prominently displayed a map of London with markers put suspiciously where you've been investigating before. Well, you're led upstairs, and in a room, a sitting room of sorts, with green tinted windows, bathing this room in a very kind of dim light. You see a few people, really. You see first the man who helped you get rid of a certain member of the church that Leander, well, murdered in broad daylight, as it happens. He just gives you a crooked grin. Like, made good on your promise after all. Well,
I keep my promises.
good. Well, he's ready to see you. And he moves to the side. And in the back, you see first, once again, man that you've seen before, ginger hair, freckles, missing a leg and sitting in his wheelchair. Kind of taxing you, it seems, kind of trying to see what you're about. And then there is, sitting behind a massive desk, this man that you've seen before at the docks, that you now know has a few underworld connections, and that seems to be connected to quite a few things that have been happening in London lately. I'm not sure he's ever given you his name yet. And perhaps it's time for introductions. As you approach this man, who's looking very much bent over. He looks withered and old. But you also notice something. I think Leander specifically would notice this. You notice that he wears a very finely tailored waistcoat. that upon closer inspection shimmers in just very strange greenish hues. You know who made this waistcoat. But anyway, yes, introductions. Would somebody like to actually introduce
Araxi,
themselves?
yeah. Um, she still smells a little bit of alcohol to anyone who is, paying enough attention and is just like half bow. Araxi Elizabeth Justice, as requested.
Well, requested, or perhaps pressure into coming here. Won't matter truly, but yes. Arthur Coleman, at your service. You, looks to the other two.
Noelani is going to incline her head respectfully. Noelani Clements, sir.
Dr. Leander Prescott. As agreed.
Yes. Have you heard of the sad fate of Mr. Moore then?
Oh, yes, he was, I'm told, unfortunately, the final victim of some vampires in Croydon.
Right, yes. Vampires that you, frankly, eradicated rather quickly. Although not before they could get to the Archbishop, of course.
Yes.
No one's perfect.
Well. Yes, well. And yet, you did it, I would say, much faster than anticipated. I would have assumed that perhaps the vampires could even get Mr. Moore before you could. Or perhaps other people among the, let's say, elite of Croydon could be turned. Perhaps they might even remain active until the racetrack is opened. The Queen rather likes these horse races. Did you know that?
Yes. Horse racing is all the rage currently.
Right, yes. Oh well. This nest of vampires. He once again coughs, and you see just some kind of blackish liquid almost come out. Well, the good people of Croydon will have their peace now. But what about you? Seems
What do you
like
mean?
whatever you do, whatever fire you put out, another one breaks out somewhere else, doesn't it?
Sounds like you know a lot about these fires, and I glance at the conspicuously labeled map, like at the back corner, like
Yes. I have made it my business knowing these things. Oh, yes.
Did you want to talk to us about business or conspiracy?
What difference is there between those two for you?
One of them is something I can directly address without beating around bushes. I'm not known for being a very political person.
Right.
If you have questions or requests from us, I would rather you come out and say them.
He coughs again, and this time it just shakes his very brittle looking body, and neither one of us has much time to delay anything we want to do. Looking right at Araxi. Very well. Like I said, it is my business knowing about these things that to you perhaps plague London. To me, all of these serve a purpose.
Hmm.
A purpose that I do not like to see interrupted.
Mm.
The purpose seems to be getting people killed.
No, that is not the grander purpose, of course. That is a side effect, if you so will.
The workers.
The workers, no. Never
No,
them.
no, no, no. I mean, I think the things that you're saying, you came to the aid of the workers. You helped in a situation in Croydon while also not bemoaning certain deaths of high figures. It's clear that you have a side and you're not, if you were overly concerned with our work, I'm assuming we'd have gone the way of Mr. Moore. So we're here instead meeting with you. In my history, that has means that you want something and find that we might be able to be of assistance. Am I on the correct track, sir?
Of course you are. Of course, you going the way of Mr. Moore could still happen in the future.
Hmm.
You have proven yourself at least an ally to the workers yourselves, to the workers of the docks. At the same time, of course, you are residents of Hargrave House within spitting distance of the palace and parliament. In the end, you are the Queen's dogs.
I am no one's dog.
Have you not been going around presenting your little slip of paper to everyone getting in your way, saying, "Oh, let us through. We bear the Queen's seal."
Whether or not you agree with the Queen, and whether or not you agree with our work, it seems that you either want us to stop what we're doing and accept that people will die, or join you and kill people ourselves, and neither of those seem particularly positive to me, so I'd like a third option.
Perhaps we don't put words in the man's mouth.
What would the third option that you envision be then?
Look, if you have a way of helping the workers and all that without killing random people, then go for it. But if your methods include harming anyone, and that does include senseless murder, includes harming people, then I am going to have to stop you, whether or not my compatriots agree.
At this point, the man in the wheelchair just looks over to you, Araxi. You're the hunter, the one who's been stalking Croydon at night. You've been killing quite a lot yourself. Tell me, how many of these were senseless to you?
Vampires don't have souls, it doesn't count.
Araxi, Araxi, perhaps we should hear what the offer is first.
The offer right now is very simple. I need certain things to happen. That means I would need you to find, as you wish to protect the people of London, which is your charge, I will need you to find ways of preserving the beings you encounter. Yes, that includes them. He just looks directly at Nolani at this point.
Them. I also look at
Nolani?
Nolani.
I also look at Nulani.
I am not sure that that is a good idea. So,
See, I know that their plan would not be good for your continued survival.
most certainly not. No.
But I can promise you that I can make arrangements. If you just let it happen.
She's gonna not like very obviously, but like look at Leander and then Araxi. And they would be fine. They would be safe.
You mean your colleagues here?
Yes.
Safe from the reprisal of the murdered, yes. Oh, well, the reprisal of the murdered witches of the past, yes.
Nolani, what is he talking about?
I won't agree with any plan that results in you getting killed. That's out of the question.
No, no. I am saying I will take the coven off your hands. They will conclude their work for me. You will not interfere. After all, you have so many issues to deal with right now, particularly the condition of her.
So they will stop. Nolani, the bugs that has to do with this. Is that correct?
Unfortunately. Yes.
All right. So you've been being attacked, and you're saying you can make that stop? Sir.
In due time, I may reach an agreement with them, yes.
May. You said may. You didn't say would. You didn't say have. What are our assurances here? Why should we not ensure not only safety ourselves?
Yes, I suppose that is the question. Well, this coven has come here after very recently finding just the piece of information that they were missing for years. I found it myself in a book not long ago. If they fail and you interrupt them, perhaps even kill them like you did with the vampires, there will be more and more and more afterwards. Until it does come to a confrontation. You already know what that would look like.
Looks at Nolani again.
I'm sure they found a replacement for me already.
Oh no, I did not speak of the coven. If you get rid of the coven, I am saying right now, there will be more creatures, monsters, whatever you want to call them. Other covens, perhaps, that will be summoned to London. Until I will say right now, one thing happens. One of two things happens. Either you get to the source of all this, and I need not explain to you what that is, or the work is complete.
What is the work?
You have observed London for a long time now, from the shadows at least, right, Doctor?
Yes, I've been in London for quite a time now, since I came for school.
Yes. You have treated, at times even, the poor, as far as I understand.
Of course.
Well, I think there was a time when you were more of a private physician, but yes. Doctor, how do you think can all of this, and he kind of just gestures to a window, all of this that you see, the mistreatment of the dock workers, the senseless dying in the streets, lives shortened in the pursuit of the glories of the empire.
You see Leander's face, like there's just a real quick flinch of disgust at that.
Hmm. How can all that be mended?
How am I supposed to know? The dead don't come back to life. At least not when the Empire is responsible.
No. The dead do not come back. Except, well, in some cases as specters, echoes of their former forms. But no, we cannot undo what has been done. But what we can do is restore what was.
Some things are gone.
Is that so? Well, at this point, I think one of you has to roll for something to get more information, by the way.
Okay, team. I how reckless do we want to go?
I mean, one of you has a 1 in presence.
Yo.
One of you has a -1. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
oh no. I
Yeah,
am.
Nolani,
One.
you're our hope.
Oh no. Don't say that.
Well, okay. How many masks do you have left? Like, if you need to use a mask, how bad is that?
Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The
I have
6th one
7.
will kill you. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Or
like
I have
I've got it.
Yeah.
I have 6, not including obviously the dead one.
So we're all on even field here.
I do have okay, because well here's I have a thing because I could use my ability in Want or Privilege, and then like it could because he already wants something from us, like that's so it's like the bad that could happen is like less bad, I think, right? And we could get a lot from it, or we could try to just I don't know, like that
I
might be
don't think he
complicated.
likes you.
That's the
Yeah,
thing. He probably doesn't like
that's the
me
thing.
right
I don't
now,
think.
but
I think I might be the only one with the bargaining chip.
okay.
Yeah. So
Unless y'all want to be real reckless and that I can just, I don't know, use Mr. Moore's journal or something. But like, yeah, I have the worst score of all of us in
Yeah,
presence.
If
and
Nolani has a
Nolani-
+1, yeah.
Nolani, yeah, you would need to be careful to word it in a way that I don't give you a disadvantage because you've been judged earlier. But Araxi also has offended, so it's kind of bad either way in that sense. So you need to be
Oh
careful how
shit,
you
y'all!
kind of go with that.
I didn't want to be offended anymore. I didn't.
Did you clear a condition?
I cleared offended instead of judged.
Uh,
Oh,
I mean, I likely wouldn't have disadvantage, but I have a -1. I don't know.
I mean, how do you?
I
Let's go with Nolani.
have
How would
an
Nolani
idea,
word this?
and,
Yeah.
and it's a bad idea. And I know Araxi will tell me that it's a bad idea.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the two of them, and then I'm gonna look at Arthur and go, perhaps I should speak to you without my colleagues.
yeah, Araxi looks at you and is just like, no, what? What?
Why not?
Please.
Nolani, this
He
is.
gestures to the man in the wheelchair. David, you entertain the other two. Then gets up and just very shakily gets his walking stick and Nolani, and he will leave the room. go into a small library. What is Nolani going to say or do there?
I think this would be a day move.
I mean, depends. You can find information here, but
Mm,
yeah, if you just want him to explain his motives, that's
oh,
probably
no,
day
I want a
move.
clue. We've been rolling so bad. I need to.
Yeah.
We need clues.
Yeah.
All right. What do you say, Odu?
So it's entirely uncharacteristic for her, but she just very gently like folds her hands in front of her, inclines her head a little bit, and she goes, I know the things that the coven is capable of. I understand what they're trying to do, and I think by what you are saying, the goals must align at least somewhat. There are people we would like to protect.
All
And
right. Roll presence.
oh no. Fuck, what set do I use? This one.
Not the offended set.
Well, I
Before
swapped
you
them.
roll, you can find a clue here for a mystery, and you can also find a mastermind clue. Which one do you want to look for here?
Ah.
You might walk out of here with the coven just becoming his servants. You might also not. That's up to you, kind.
I you got thoughts, gang.
We don't have like any clues for Sap yet.
No, we have multiple clues for
We have,
Sap.
okay,
No,
we have
no,
two,
just one.
but like,
One or two, but yeah.
yeah, it's not hardly any.
But
We
I
need
think
a lot.
you're the more pressing. I yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
Yeah.
already at like 4 though. Like I'll be fine. I think Sap we're real running out of.
Yeah, that's fair. Go for the
Yeah.
that or the coven. We have
Unless we're
nothing on
getting
the
rid of
coven
the
right
coven.
now.
If we're getting rid of the coven though, if we think that we should just hand them over to the mastermind, which
Yeah.
I don't know if we do.
Okay,
but, like,
decision time. Ren, what are you rolling for?
Oh.
I'm gonna go for a mystery clue.
Okay, which one?
Mm,
I mean, you are talking about the coven just now, but
I'm gonna
Hmm?
we gotta fix Araxi if we want to solve anything else.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Okay, you mentioned people you want to protect. Yeah.
I am putting on a mask.
Oh no!
uh-huh. What did you roll?
6.
Ah.
I even swapped them so that they weren't mad anymore, but they're still fucking pissed.
Well, okay. Okay. Yeah. There's going to be something problematic here with this. And I mean, obviously, the complication with the clue is going to be he is going to expect some kind of assurance from you in return.
Yeah, okay.
So, people to protect, yes. I have a few books on the matter. You see, by the way, that he has collected probably thousands of books. Now, as you may probably already suspect, I have not read all of these, but over there, these are the books that for now are no longer of use to me. They were of great help when looking into the barrows of Croydon and their inhabitants earlier. But for now, I have no need of them anymore. You can help yourselves. And you can just add the clue, a stack of books about vampires. But yes, people we wish to protect. I would have to ask you, of course, to, and this may hurt your professional ethos, exclude certain people from your protection. The queen, as it were.
She'll nod. Though I live here, that is certainly not my queen.
Well, by law, I would almost believe that she is. Although I suppose you are not from the Empire. Truly, whose queen is that anyway? For centuries, these little houses with their nice pedigrees, all of them intermarried, have traded the throne between them. When this one dies, there'll be the next little house that rules over us, lords over us for a few hundred years or so, and then the next and the next and the next. It cannot continue that way forever, but I'm getting rather ahead of myself. Yes. Take the books. Satya, I believe, will gladly help you take care of your friend as well. You will have her service. I believe you might have enjoyed that already. He said it's his business to know things anyway. And in exchange, perhaps we'll come to an understanding of where this all leads. Because trust me, it's not in my interest to have outbreak after outbreak of vampires and witches and so on. It is rather more in my interest to find a way to reinstate many things that we have lost from the old stories permanently, but not to just let them loose. But for now, I just need your assurance that the Queen will no longer be considered under your protection, no matter what the statute of Hargrave House say.
She will nod. I understand. And
Good.
I will do my best to make sure the others also understand.
Speaking of the others, you are just pretty much alone in a room with the servants of Arthur Coleman, or colleagues, or whatever. There is David, the man in the wheelchair with ginger hair. There's Peters, the huge man who has helped you move Oscar Moore's body. And there's Satya. And this is your, let's say, your opportunity to maybe find something out about the mastermind. As this is going on, this conversation between Noelani and him is going on in the other room.
He left his wheelchair?
The mastermind is not in. Coleman
the
is
man in
not
the
in a
wheelchair is still
wheelchair.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I've been okay. Okay.
No, no, no.
Yes. Um.
There's a man with a missing leg
Okay.
who is
Okay.
therefore in a wheelchair. Yeah, that's. He's been called David, ginger hair,
That's David.
freckles,
Okay.
kind of around 30-ish, not as old as Coleman.
Um. Yeah, Araxia will go over to David and I'm trying to decide how blunt Araxi's like dying. Araxi's not very polite right now, unfortunately. And Araxi is going to kind of nod and just. So, what's your war story?
Well, war story? Fighting over a dot on some map in Crimea. Got shot. Got gangrene, and now I only have one leg left. It's
And
not the most interesting story.
they tend to get more interesting the more alcohol one has had, and I'll looking for my flask, but my flask's already empty, and I'm like, ah, shite. Well, uh, eh,
All right.
if we don't end up killing each other, I'll buy you a drink.
Sure, why not? If that's how you deal with the memories.
Helps me sleep at night.
All right, well.
Does all this help you?
All this, you mean having a purpose? Yes.
For all the talk that Mr. Coleman gave, there's a lot of implications. I don't suppose you'd feel up to clearing any of that up?
Well, I think, John, your eloquence is needed here, and he just looks over to, we know is John Peters, massive man, again, shaved down hair. What needs clearing up? We work together or we fight?
Well, to me, it seems more that the offer is that my colleagues and I stop working almost.
That's not what I heard, Araxi.
Well, that's why I'm asking, because what's the point of making a deal if we're all on different pages?
Well,
Right,
I believe
you
Mr. Peters has already helped us once.
And you paid your debt for that, but
Yes.
there's more deals to be made, or, we fight. And David again comes in. Yes, well, you serve the crown. Right. Well, I hope you're ready to be discarded then when your usefulness ends. And from what I'm seeing, it very soon might. But here with us, we are working towards, well, what we are going to do is bring this all down and build something new in its place. There might still be room for Hargrave House then. This is where Satya is going to come in. They did make the right decision with the Guardian.
What what new thing would you build? You'll forgive me if I am wary of signing up for things that I don't know the full extent of, but I assume you also understand that I have a wide variety of things I'm willing to do for something I believe in.
Yes, we've seen that already, haven't we? That Satya talking, just smiling at Leander. But
Leander
do you really think?
awkwardly smiles back.
Do you really think we know what's going to stand at the end of all this?
I
That
believe
it
you
can
have
be
an idea of
planned
what you
like
want.
what we want? Well, okay, now somebody needs to roll for perhaps a
Okay.
little mastermind clue.
Do you want me to roll for it, Leander, or what's like?
I'm
Both of us are not great, but I have a 0.
yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm
say you can kind of roll with sensitivity here. I'm not sure how
okay.
it's
I
Better
going
could
to work
for you.
out, but I'm gonna let you do it because honestly, you need a break because the dice hate you.
if I could roll composure or sensitivity, I'll roll. It's fine.
Cool.
Not sure about about composure. It's like
Okay.
you're not under threat here. Sensitivity, yes.
I
All right.
think we're under a little threat, but
Yeah. Mm.
All righty. Come on. Yes. I didn't even need it. It's
All
double
right.
sixes.
Oh
I
shit.
love
All right. So technically, that would mean
I
two
love
mastermind clues. Why not?
Yeah.
Well. Okay. What does Leander say?
I'm so sorry. What was the question?
What does Leander?
I lost one of my
The
headsets.
question was just. Oh, the question was just kind of like, well, do you think that we know what will stand at the end of this, and you want
Mm.
to kind of figure out, okay, what is your immediate plan? Then I think that's where we were.
I think everyone who has a plan wants something. And I'm honestly just curious what it is you and Mr. Coleman want, because there are things I want. And if they align, well, it seems you already know I'm a fairly good ally. I keep my promises.
Well, Satya just smiles. Yes, well, you might even keep your promises for a little too long sometimes, but why not?
Shall we not be rude? I thought we were having such a nice conversation.
All right. To make it up to you. What we want is, of course, a change in the political landscape. Let's say. You already know. One of you, though she's not here right now, already knows what our plans with the Coven are. We have plans for Scotland Yard as well, other places, perhaps for you, but for you there might be a purpose beyond this. And She just goes over a few notes and like, yes. You know, he's worked in the mines once, Arthur. Still has contacts, still knows where to find things there. Like explosives, let's say. At that point, David is like, all right, maybe we don't tell them all that. What you need to know is have been when you walk through London or move through London, let's say. Does it not all seem lost to you in a way?
What do you mean?
Still things worth
Like with-
fighting for here.
Oh, yes. And we are fighting for them, but all of this, the hundreds of ships, the disgusting fog everywhere, the smell, everything, people almost stacked on top of each other. Everything being almost suffocated. Well, there's a place you should visit. And he hands you a map. There, you will see what he saw. Years ago. It's a map that would lead you. It would still be in London, technically, but it would be not in the city proper anymore. It would be somewhere in Windsor Forest, close by. But with that, Nolani is led back into the room, and your meeting concludes for today.
Milani, are you alright?
I'm fine. I got books.
Here, I'll carry those.
What did
We
those
might,
cost?
we might have to continue this another day, but Miss Clements, your erstwhile friends of the Coven, what is your decision about them? Be they friend or foe? This is your decision now. Will they become servants of the mastermind, or will you just hunt them down?
I like to imagine Alani's actually doing this, like
No.
Nolani just stands there
like,
Sorry, above the table.
Yeah.
Friend or foe to who?
Look, just a general question, but he's kind of hoping to turn you to his side, so it's really just the question of, do you oppose the Coven right now, or are they just going to become inactive as they just start working for him.
And say they become mastermind servants.
All right. Well, he shakes your hand, and we will get to that another time. But for now, you return to Hargrave House. You have struck a bargain here.
Mhm.
But still, there are other things you need to do tonight. So, as we prepare for the night phase, this is going to be a very short night phase, but um, anything we need to resolve at dusk? Any masks that were put on?
I have
I-
one.
All
I
right,
also have one.
then. Let's start with Leander. You return to Hargrave House. You get a little cold spot as you move in. It seems Eliska has been roaming about in your absence.
The walk back and coming back into the house, the talk of purpose and London and Are Things Lost. Leander thinks back, it brings back a memory, and he's on a ship and he is so excited. And it's the day that they're supposed to be able to land. And he's going to tell his family about all of the people he's met, and that he's got his degree, and that he's in love, and he's so excited. And the ship finally docks and he hears people starting to leave, and he comes up from his quarters, and it's a fort. It's all a fort. A new English fort. The village is gone. He starts to walk, almost dazed, looking around, ignoring everything. And even as he walks further and further, he walks for hours, days, and he can't find anyone. He sees many white faces, some even paler faces. He sees a few black faces, but none of his family. He does not see his brother. He does not see his mother, his sisters, his cousins, his friends, his schoolmates. He sees strangers. He went to London for them. He went to London for all of them to be a doctor, and he's been gone so long that there's nothing left. After walking for some time, he just realizes everyone's gone. He doesn't know where they were, where they went. It explains why he hasn't gotten any letters back. And he realizes that, well, the only thing he loves is in London. So he walks back and gets back on the first ship back to London, where the only thing he loves and the only purpose he has, it will be her. The Lady Prescott, that will be his purpose from now on. because everyone else he's ever loved is gone.
I think we're going to save the second mask for a bit later. What are you doing at night?
I'm investigating another crypt.
Yeah. All right.
Are we coming
And
with you?
I think Araxi would
You-
probably be like, I'm already a vampire. I think I can go alone. There's nothing left that can happen to me.
That's not true at all.
It's not going to be that terrible there. It's just a complication with a clue. So um, mechanically speaking, like it makes sense for just one person to be there. The others probably have more pressing concerns.
Okay.
What is Nolani doing? Is Nolani going out or just staying behind, doing a little ritual, or what's going to go on?
She was gonna go take a walk. Because I was gonna
Nice.
use beacon in the dark.
All right, yeah, good. Okay, and Leander.
Leander's gonna stay at home and read through these books
All right,
and do some experiments, maybe on some blood that he has now.
okay. Yeah. We will begin with. Well, we will begin with Noelani. But first, we are going to be at the Four Magpies, a pub popular with working class gay men, run by the butch landlady Polly O'Donnell. While it seems like any other crammed, rowdy, spit and sawdust pub, it's an oasis of relative safety in a dangerous city, where Polly does what she can to protect her boys. And Elliot, what is our first unseen there for the night?
Describe a moment we see of men sharing a moment of intimacy that would be unwise to do elsewhere. There are, probably over a dozen different men here in the pub, and despite the noise and the hustle and bustle, there are two men working class, they've got caps and vests, patched over multiple times. And despite everything going on around them, they only have eyes for each other. And if one were to look under the table, you can see their thighs are pressed together. And still under the table, you can't quite shake that anxiety. One of them reaches out and puts his hand atop the other man's hand and just is rubbing his thumb kind of over the rough skin. Just sharing this moment.
Nolani, where in London do we find you? What is the. You're taking a stroll. Are you going somewhere specific?
Assuming it's not too far, I was gonna like walk towards the neighborhood with the sap threat.
Mm-hmm. Yes, as you go there, it's not too far. As you go there, the air is filled, even at night now, with. First, you think it is just the regular fog, but then you realize it is just pollen, so thick and dense that it is like fog. You are having trouble breathing almost. This is not a condition, but this is where you find yourself. And still, these are very narrow streets, feeling almost like you're not in London anymore. But what are you doing?
She's gonna take a moment, take a deep, well, maybe not too deep a breath for the sake of allergies, but just expand essentially her field of magic into the air as well. Uh, less like the pollen and I guess more like roots.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think you need to roll sensitivity here.
mhm.
Um,
I do.
you can use an item. You specifically have plants on you, so there's that.
Yeah. I'm going to use the dried plants she keeps on herself. Like uncork
Mhm.
one of the dried flowers. Just let the smell kind of
Yeah.
clear her head. Uh, that's advantage, so that's one more dice.
Yep.
Right? Okay. Please, 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 please. Hell yeah. And then shit. Hold on.
What did you roll? So what do you-
11 total.
Okay, well, that's almost a must. No, that's going to be the threat or personified danger is going to appear. And yes, what's going to appear, of course, as you expand your consciousness here are going to be, well, it looks like people, but you see running out of the mouth of one of them is, in fact, greenish sap. See one of them with a hollow eye socket with something blooming in there. And they're surrounding you. But they keep their distance.
That's good. I can
And you
ask
can now
them.
ask them 2 questions. Yeah.
Okay. I'm hmm. I'm gonna start, I guess, with what do you intend to do?
Mhm. And
And then I guess where is your lair?
right. I will not answer directly, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do I read that correctly? You get 2 clues here.
Um
Or is it you ask 2 questions again, get 1 clue?
I think I get one clue.
Okay, well, we're gonna say you get a clue then. Yeah. What you see then is that they start walking away, and following them, you see them lead you to a patch of death, essentially. Lots of dead plants even a few dead animals. But there's, in the middle of all of that, a single lushly growing plant, an orchid. Lamia. Next unseen prompt.
Curtis Jackson is a young barrow boy who has heard rumors of the Four Magpies, but never visited before. How do we see him make his first nervous steps inside, and how is he drawn in? Curtis has heard a lot about this and has spent time just listening and was able to get information and then follow a few other boys to a nondescript location and sees them go in and decides to follow and slowly, tentatively takes a few steps into the place, cautiously looking around into the dark, and then fully immerses himself inside, smelling the smoke and the musk and the alcohol. And it's a very handsome, bearded man who seems to be holding a game of some sort that's drawn a crowd that draws him all the way in. There are just, it seems, cards and coins and tokens of all sorts scattered over the table in some way that Curtis doesn't understand but is intriguing. And so he goes in and joins in.
And Araxi. You're standing in front of the crypt of Surprise. What calls you into it right now, and how do you open it?
Very notably, Araxi did not bring her halberd with her. And as I stand outside the crypt and I kind of just pause and I listen and I just try to do I hear, if I hear anything, do I sense anything? And eventually I just have this sense of, well, it's now or never, and I'm going to die anyway if I don't do something about my situation. And I push it open and walk in.
And inside, you find, with a stake through his heart, Surprise, perfectly preserved. A vampire who has been lying here for over 100 years. It
Shite.
seems he hid his condition very well. But there's something calling you, or something trying to take control of your blood. Roll the night move to not free him right now.
Is it just 2d6? Do I add anything to it?
Presence.
That's a 0.
Oh no, sensitivity. Sorry.
That's a 1. So 11.
Yeah. All right.
But a 10
We
or 11.
see,
Yeah.
we see Araxi leave, perhaps with another body, in a state between life and death. You now have a clue who is also a character, and that is Surprise.
Oh!
Yeah. Also, why not? Elliot, just continue on with the next unseen prompt.
A well-dressed Hoff enters the pub, clearly cruising for trade. Which eager lads, complete good nature compete, good naturedly or otherwise, for his attention, and who just scoffs at him. Um, I think as this man enters, there's a group of um kind of, maybe mid 30s working lads who have formed like a friendship having come here for quite a while. Um and they kind of, wolf whistle and, wink and make kind of like, various lewd noises in the direction of this individual. um and maybe there's a little bit of this pleasant playfulness, some genuine, flirtation and stuff. And then there's these two just old as shit, knocking on death's door. They look, practically like cobwebs growing onto them, but they've come here every night since they were, young lads. And Polly's not about to turn them out just because of their age. And they just kind of roll their eyes. Because they've seen it all before, and they're like, oh, just another new fad amongst the youngins, and they're not impressed.
Leander, you're sitting in
Yeah.
Hargrave House studying the books.
Yes. I'm. Go ahead.
The books don't really seem to cooperate tonight, or rather, your attention is slipping. And I would need you to roll the night move to not fall asleep here and face your dreams once again.
Okay, what is this with? Sensitivity?
I have no
Or
idea.
is this
Not presence.
composure?
Honestly, it could be vitality, composure, or even sensitivity. However you choose to resist this is fine. It's not
Okay.
going to be presence, and it's not going to be
Thank God.
reason.
Okay. Well, everything, if it's not reason or presence, it's a one regardless. So let's try not to fall asleep. Oh no. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a 9. I kind of stay awake.
Yeah, you
I'm also gonna. Oh, I know. I'm gonna use. I am really used to being up at night, and that is a really common thing for me. And so I'm
Oh,
also
right,
gonna use
yeah.
residual traces of malice so that it's day move type consequences instead of night move level consequences.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that means you just kind of get yourself in a problematic position. And I will say what could happen here, unless you want to upgrade it to a full success, is you realize that you need to leave Hargrave House. You need to kind of get a bit of fresh air with those books. And you go outside and you will meet somebody there.
Okay, that's fine. I will take a couple of the books I'm working on, and I
Mhm.
will say, uh, this stupid library, stupid bloody ghosts. Get out of here for a moment,
Yeah.
and we'll
Do you
walk out.
want to very quickly roll the information move as you also go through the library with reason?
Okay. 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 Still a 9.
Okay.
7
Yeah.
plus 2. Yeah, still a 9.
Well, in that case, I'm going to roll the consequences into one here. You find a very interesting chapter in one of the books. But before we get to what that is, also because we need to end the session very soon, all of a sudden you hear footsteps and you are approached by a finely, freshly pressed uniform and shining boots. It is Silas Turner.
Of course it is. What
Out
is his
late
rank
at night,
again?
aren't we?
What
He is an inspector of the
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
out very late at night, are we not, Mr. Prescott?
Oh, Inspector. Yes, I am doing some research and old air, it doesn't make for a sharp mind. I needed a breath of crisp uh, air. How are you? It's been some days.
It has been. I've seen no further reports of the strange happenings at the docks, and yet others have begun cropping up. And there's, how do I say this? There seems to be a unifying thing, commonality between all of them. Hargrave House. And we're going to leave the scene for tonight. The last unseen. Ren. Very quickly.
As last orders are called and people start to file out of the pub, how do we see Polly looking after her customers with words or actions where needed? For most of them, she gives them a glass of water. She's like, "You got to sober up before you go home." For others, she starts fixing messy jackets and straightening ties, dousing some of them with more feminine smelling perfume to mask the um, mystery cologne that a bunch of them undoubtedly have, like, lingering on their clothes. And she sees them off to the door, and even uh, about an hour after they technically close, she still waits out in the front, just in case somebody needs her help and a safe place to go.
And we end the night not in the year 1868, but in the year 1839. We are in a clearing in the forest. A younger, much younger Arthur Coleman approaches a great tree in the middle of this clearing, standing there by it itself. He already has, although he is still walking a lot more securely than he is in 1868, he already has his gnarled walking stick, and we see him approach the tree and tap it once, twice, 3 times. And then the tree almost begins to open up. And out of it steps a figure, maybe a little over 6 feet tall, horned, antlered, so to say. Looks at the much smaller Arthur Coleman. You have called the hunt. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Oh, we're so fucked,
Oh.
guys. Oh.
I just want my wife. I don't know why y'all got dragged me into this stuff.
You were here before us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that's that for today. Elliot has to run, so very quickly outros. Hi, I'm Yanis, always he, him. This is the only place you can find me currently, so that's my outro. Thanks for watching. Elliot.
Hi, I'm Elliot. You can find me online at CurseBreaker Elliot. Sometimes I Twitch on stream, but usually I'm doing APs and the like. Ren.
Oh, hi, I'm Ren, or Renegade Dumpling. I have been Noelani Astoria Clements. I am only here for now, and then eventually we will get other things out. Lamia.
Hi, I'm Lamia. You can find me around the internet here as Mental Lamia on Twitch and on Intersection CCH on Blue Sky. Woke Mental Wellness, the new episode should come out on Monday as long as I get it up in time. So go check that out, and I'll leave it there for. Oh, Vamp BIPOC Day is or weekend is coming on September like 18th through the 21st. So watch out for that because I'm GMing something.
That is so fitting. Anyway, yeah, we'll be back next week when we'll see what happens next. Now that the Coven are friends, we haven't even seen them yet, but we will in some capacity. And also, Satya is going to have something to show to Noelani. But anyway, next session. For now, goodbye and thanks for watching. You do not want to know what Jen just did. Anyway, bye.
Cut the stream.
Cut the stream.